Okay, good morning. Today is August 29th of 2024, and we're going to go over the daily, actually yesterday's price action as well as the outlook for tomorrow. Okay, so yesterday we had draw lower. I did not expect for price to actually do this because there was no news yesterday. Yeah, there was no news yesterday, so I didn't expect for price to run this much. Now, the reason why it actually ran was because, and I can't believe I did this again. Um, where is it? The 29th. Here it is. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA had earnings yesterday, and I know there was no news yesterday, but because NVIDIA is such a high, um, is one of the top AI companies in the world, it, that's the reason why price ran. Because price sold off in anticipation of the earnings. Okay, so that's why price ran this much. And had I put that on my notes, I probably would have anticipated that. I would have anticipated that price was going to be very fluid. Um, but nevertheless, I was still able to catch some pretty good wins. Um, so we'll go over that here in a second. I'm just pissed off that I completely fudged that part. Um, but anyways, let's go ahead. And there was news today. Um, One second. There was news today, but no bigger companies than Nvidia. Okay, so yesterday again, because of the Nvidia earnings, that's why price ran as much. I completely I did not see that, but I will next quarter when the next earnings season starts. Um, actually, let me write that down real quick. I'm just writing it down real quick. Because even though I have notes on my computer, I always read my actual journal because that is what that's like my Bible. So, uh, are there? Uh, and so I won't make that mistake again. Anyways, okay. So right off the morning, uh, during yesterday's morning, I noticed that price had SMT here, and um, I expected price to draw lower. Again, I did not expect for this, but had I known Nvidia was releasing earnings, I probably would have anticipated for a long run. So, anyways, SMT, we had a breaker here on the 15. Right here, and on NQ, it was right here. Okay, so I anticipated price to draw lower, finish off this market maker buy model here, sell model. We had a breaker here and an inverse here, as well as this gap here. On NQ, we also had this breaker here, inverse here, and imbalance here. Right after the morning open, I noticed that price swept above this breaker here, but it did not draw above the inverse here. But the reason I didn't like this one is because it broke the breaker. On ES, I did like it actually. I did like. I mean, on ES, it didn't. So that's why I paid attention to this one. Um, yeah, that's why I paid attention to this one. I took my first short right here, anticipating that this right here would act as resistance. Obviously, it didn't, and I got stopped swiftly here. Once price drew into this area, I noticed that the breaker was here as well as the gap on the 1 hour. And so I decided to turtle soup entry that. A turtle soup entry is when price sweeps the high or low, and then you enter right there, and then you look for a draw lower if you're short, draw higher if you're short, if you're long. And I covered into this area right here. Now, I I anticipated for price to draw lower, and by this time my concentration concentration was completely out. I was still, paper trading, caught a short here, covered into this area, got stopped on the last one, and during the macro, there really wasn't anything except for this little tiny gap here. It still swept the low, but what I should have been paying attention to was the SMT on the 15-minute, because SMT for me is godsend. That's to me, that's the market tip in its hand to me. And so we had SMT at this high here, and at the same time on NQ, on ES, we had this SMT between these highs here. As you can see here, these highs were swept, but on NQ, wait, where is it? Oh, right here. This high right here. As you can see here, even though these candles swept each one of the last ones, it did not sweep this one. And this one swept this one, displacement, imbalance, entry right here. So had I been paying attention to that, I would have noticed this. Not only that though, but we had first stage SMT on the 1 hour, second stage on the 15-minute, first stage on the 1 hour, second stage on the 15-minute. Now, if you want to get even more, if you want to zoom in even more, you can actually see a lower stage SMT. So 15-minute SMT, 1-minute SMT, where price swept this high here, but on NQ, it did not. Between this high and this high here, as you can see, swept here. Here it did not create a lower high. So that could have been a that was a reason to get short. And by this time, my attention was pretty much gone. All of that mental capital had been spent just watching these candles when I actually should have been watching the 15-minute. And that's usually how it goes. I look at the 15-minute to tell me that price is going to draw lower or higher after SMT is drawn. And by this time, my focus was on the 1-minute when it should have been on the 15-minute. But anyways, coming back into the afternoon session, coming back into the afternoon session, I was still bearish because, as you can see, the displacement was fairly aggressive. And as you can see here, price did sweep into this low here, but I expected price to sweep even lower. Same thing here. Price actually closed very bearish, as you can see here, after this market maker sell model was finished. There's another higher time frame one here, and it closed below, as you can see here. So here, for the 1400 macro, I had expected price to draw lower. Now I came in a little too late after the 1330 macro, but I was able to catch a short once again. Now on the higher time frame, there was no SMT, but again, if price is going the way that you expect it to, then for the second stage of distribution, you don't necessarily need SMT as long as you're correct with your bias. And so I came back into the day, and I noticed the price had created a 1 hour imbalance right here. And right here, price had swept this low, swept this high, price swept this high. So once price swept, if price was still bearish, then it would target these lows once again. Same thing here. If price was still bearish, then it would target these lows once again. Here, price never reached constant encroachment. Here, price never did either, but it did reach equilibrium. Here, it didn't, as you can see here. And the reason why I chose to go with this one, because again, it did reach equilibrium. The reason why I went with this high and this low here is because on the 1 minute, there's tiny 1 minute sweeps off the highs up here. Same thing here, 1 minute sweeps. So that's why I use this high here. And as you can see here, price ran into a order block gap. Price failed to close above it, and then drew lower, well, displaced lower, and I was able to catch a short right here. Now, granted, I should have had my limit order set and ready because I had started watching it right here, but I didn't act fast enough, and I actually ended up getting short right here, and then I covered into the break of the low. Now, on the reversal. So on the reversal, I hadn't expected much, but I did expect a quick draw into at least 50% of this down move. And obviously, in hindsight, it actually ran all of these highs. But I only wanted to catch a small move. So what did I wait for? I waited for price to draw not only into the daily, but I also waited for price to draw into these gaps. Because to me, is if this gap partially filled, then it would reverse. And obviously it continued drawing lower. It completely drew way past that here. And so then I had the second gap that I wanted to pay attention to, this gap right here. And this gap is very wide. So what I wanted to see is I wanted only a pierce into the 25% of this portion up here, the upper 25% of the portion. And on the 1 minute, I began looking for that. What I wanted to see is I wanted to see price pierce it and then reverse and then close above the previous open. And as soon as price did that, I hit the buy, and I was able to get a couple, I think it was about 40 points here. As soon as I got 40 points, I got out. And in hindsight, I should have kept on to a few, but I had already had a pretty good win here, and I had another good win here. Now here, I did have my eyes on this 5-minute gap here. Actually, it was a smaller one. I think it was like right here or something. Yeah, it was right here. Or I think it might have been this one right here. Yeah, it was a tiny little gap. Um, and here price never pierced into the gap, but here it did. And as soon as it pierced into it, it reversed. And again, by this time I was already like my mental capital was already done because I had caught this move, then I had caught this move, and so my attention was all over the place afterwards. But yeah, reverse. So today, what am I expecting? Um, I don't know, to be honest, because yesterday I did see the open, and the open was a gap down. Okay, the open was a gap down. Uh, so I'm still bullish because on the daily we just filled this whole gap, but on NQ on ES we have yet to do that, and we have yet to sweep this the previous week low. On NQ we swept it like a couple of days ago once, and then we swept it again yesterday. So that in itself is SMT, and we did, like I said, we did gap down a little bit. I'd be surprised if we swept it, because if we did, then that's no longer SMT. I mean, there is still SMT between this low and this low here, so I would like to see how price reverse now for a bullish scenario. Even if we swept this low, I would have liked to see that gap get filled during the Asia London session, and then maybe during London price price retrace back into that gap, and then we displaced higher. I want to see displacement towards the upside. I want to see displacement towards the upside during the Asia London session somehow. If it happened, then great, because what that means to me is that if price violates all of these bearish PD arrays, I will look for a run higher during the afternoon session, because if Asia and London displaced, then New York morning should be a seek and destroy, meaning it's going to just chop around until it's ready to leave price, maybe in the afternoon session. If we kept drawing lower, then my targets will be these lows here, but price will need to have, actually I forgot to do that here, price will need to have completely traded through this dealing range here, meaning that I would like to see a sweep of this high and then the draw lower, because there's no other dealing range on the because I'm unwilling to use the lower time frame dealing ranges. So that's what I want to see. If it created another dealing range during Asia London, then I would like to see what happened during those. And I'll probably delete a lot of this stuff, um, because obviously the Asia London is still has been drawn by now. So I want to see how price drew in that area. Um, Again, I would like to see displacement, and I would like to see how price closed around these areas here. And if it completely um, if all I see are bodies in this area and closes above here, then that to me indicates that price is bullish. If I see rejections like it did here, then we'll see. But again, we did gap down. I think we're down here somewhere, where we gap down here somewhere. And if price is swept these highs and is trending lower, then I will use the new day opening gap as the targets for a short. If it keeps drawing lower, then that's good still. But I'm being mindful of trading into new lows, because at any moment it could reverse. Now September is technically bearish historically, but given the political landscape, I don't think price follows the seasonal tendencies. So let's go ahead and connect and see where we are and what our plan for today is. All right. I'm just making sure I'm zoomed into everything I want to see. Yep. On this down move on the 15-minute, there are no gaps. So that's why I say I want to see displacement higher. The displacement higher, if it happened, then should not have had any trouble getting through anything. Uh, this is the only area I would anticipate for price to have trouble. But again, if price is strong, then I would expect to see displacement higher. But again, if I'm not inclined to take any shorts. So let's go ahead and connect and see what happened. All right. Amazing. See what I mean? Okay. Um, let's go ahead and get rid of these. I put in a swing trade yesterday, just off the simulator to see what might happen. Okay, so on the 60-minute, we have closes above, so that is telling me that price is bullish. So the highs are now the targets, but I will be mindful of this breaker right here. Okay, so Asia, London expanded, so that means I'm going to anticipate seek and destroy during the morning session. The only way I'll look to take a trade long is if price comes back into this gap here, which is what I'll go ahead and label right now. That way I don't have to deal with it later on. Where is the open? The open is right here. We completely covered this, so I don't need this anymore. We traded all the way through this right here. I don't need this anymore. We traded higher. So now this is the new dealing range, but obviously since it's inclining, I'm not inclined to trade short today. And as you can see, it closed above here, retraced, now it's drawing higher. So again, these are the anticipated targets for me. I like NQ a lot better than I like ES because we have relative equal highs. Here we have high resistance. This right here is low resistance because this high never swept this high. See, like, what did the 4-hour do here? All right, so I'm gonna keep an eye on this right here. We should see some form of resistance in this area here. Which just happens to be a new week opening gap as well. Okay. So many areas of resistance, but all of these are low resistance because these highs were never swept. Here, kind of, but I'm not gonna be using that one here. This one I will. So during the 10 o'clock macro, I want to see price draw through here and close above here during the 10 o'clock macro. If it's going to retrace inwards, I mean downwards, then I would expect for price to maybe come back down into, I don't need this anymore. So even though we do have wicks here, I do like that we closed above this swing high here, and we're partially closing above this here. I want to see closes above constant encroachment. If we don't, that's fine because we already did here on ES. Let's take a look at the daily real quick. Okay, again, on the daily, these are my targets. And ES, NQ is, I like a whole lot better than ES. This is just really nice. See, even if we hit the objective, I'm already thinking about what's going to happen the next few days. Let's go ahead and go to the 4-hour. We are drawing a gap here, so we could use that as something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Actually, I'll wait until the 10 o'clock macro because we might just close lower, or if we draw higher. If we draw higher, then that would make this right here a huge order block. And if we close above here, so a lot of times, so that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. I'm going to be paying attention to how the 4-hour closes because the 4-hour will tell me a lot. The 4 and the 1-hour. After that closes, that'll give me a an idea as to how I'm going to be watching the market in the afternoon session. But as of right now, I am looking for seek and destroy. Seek and destroy looks something like this. Up move. Let's do it again. Displacement higher, as we did here. We get the high, low, high, low, high, low. So we get like a broadening pattern. And then we get the final low into the afternoon session, sort of like this. Displacement, and we get the continuation. So that's what the broadening pattern looks like to me, um, and that's what I'm hoping to see, because right now we are seeing that. We are seeing a broadening pattern with highs, with new highs at each one of these. So if I am to trade the morning session, that's what I'll be looking for. I'm not going to look to trade continuation. I'll be looking for sweeps, reversals. I like NQ a lot better because NQ has not swept this high yet. So that is SMT at the lows. I mean SMT at the highs. But again, the only thing I'm doing today is following price. Well, not following price. I'm still trading, but I'm not going to be in a hurry to get into a trade unless there's a really good one. And I don't know. I might still do. It's hilarious. 15 minute. Yeah, I don't see anything yet. This is the previous day gap. So right now, the low hanging fruit, the question I'm asking myself, where is price drawing to right now? Like right now, where's it drawing to? And right now, price is drawing to these lows here. But right now, it's just this low. And then eventually, maybe these lows here, but I have to keep looking at price. SMT at the highs, SMT at the highs. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. So lesson learned from yesterday, no longer getting into a short if I see displacement lower in a gap. I want to see what price does after the sweeps. So that's what I'm looking for. This was the news. Okay. All right. So again, still nothing. I just want to see what price does in these areas here. I'd be highly surprised if it just continues drawing higher because I do want to see a rebalance of this imbalance. But it could just be so that this 4-hour order block turns into the displacement that I was looking for. Like I said, this week I'm looking for a draw lower and then the reversal midweek. Now today is obviously Thursday, but we're getting what I was looking for. This right here is an inverse, so I may look to see how price reacts if it draws into this area here. But I'm not gonna, let's draw it. It's actually, wow, it's actually this whole area here. Let's do it anyways. Okay, we got 1 minute till the open. I'm not going to draw it here just yet. All right, so let's just watch and see how price reacts. I think we are going to close above here. And if we do, that's when I start hunting. There was a small part of me that probably should have taken a long right down here. But yeah, can't what's the word? 91, 40. Can't take that back now, can I? I'll be ready next time though when I see the same, because it's starting to get familiar, and the swings are starting to get a lot easier. In my well, the swing and the anticipation of the swings are starting to get a lot easier for me to see. So again, I want to see a sweep of this high and see how it reacts. Now, if we don't sweep these highs, then we are gonna probably target these lows. And again, seek and destroy. Oh yeah, let's take a look at NVIDIA, because NVIDIA right now is running the market. It's crazy. Just a few years ago, NVIDIA was nothing. But since it is the leader in AI, it makes sense. Before it used to be Apple that ran the market. NVIDIA. Yep, huge gap up on NVIDIA. But I expect NVIDIA to draw higher too, because NVIDIA did take a lot of liquidity at the lows, on the daily at least. And there it goes. Okay, so again, I want to see price close above this area here. No trades during the 10 o'clock macro for me. And that is SMT at the highs. Yeah, nope. I was tempted to zoom in to see if we might get a quick reversal into the lows, but since we're displacing higher, even better. I do see a unicorn here on the 60-minute with this right here. Price came back, tested this area, and now it's drawing higher. Here, it didn't really do that much. So if it's going to be seek and destroy and price closes above here, it would still need to come back here to rebalance. Not all of this move, but partial of it. So I might look to take a short into consequent encroachment at least. Yeah, there was no sweep at all during the afternoon, during the Asia London sessions. I mean, at the lows. Besides the previous day low, it's the only area that it's sweeped. Let's use this right here. I don't know why I had it up there. That's the 15-minute. All right, let's see how it does there. ES has yet to sweep that high. NQ is very, very bullish. NVIDIA continues to close that gap that it created yesterday. All right, let's see here. All right, let's take a look. I might want to be a participant here. I said I might, but not sure yet. was too, and there he goes. Damn. All right, never mind. I wanted to be a quick participant. And it's still drawing higher. That's crazy. All right, let's just watch it draw. No entry. What's this one up here? Oh, that's the breaker. All right, no entry. I just want to see how it reacts. I don't care where it closes up here as long as it closes above here. That's all I care about. I like how it closed below constant encroachment here. The next candle will maybe give me a hint of something. Nothing. Wow. Still drawing higher. 3 more seconds. Yeah, this is telling me a lot because it basically just sliced through that. Completely sliced through that. All right, it drew into constant encroachment. I mean, it drew away from that, but still I'm not taking any trades. And I don't anticipate to take any here. I think what I will do is I think I will see how price closes here now. If it closes above, I may take a shot at getting long. But then again, it's not my setup, so I won't take anything. I'll just let it go. Yep, it looks like Seek and Destroy to me. Here's where, oh man, darn. Let's take a paper here. Too late. All right, whatever. Let's take it. I wanted to get in right here, and I wanted a close above here to be my stop. And so now this low would be my target. But let's see. I'll just add another one. 31.50. There you go, right there. And my stop would be Wow, that'd be about a 6-point stop. Okay. So if it's a 6-point stop, then I would like to take micros. Actually, let's take one more here. Sell limit right there. Okay. Let's put the stop up here. Obviously, this is where the stop is, but the actual stop would be if price started closing above it. If one candle does, that doesn't mean that obviously I'm out of the trade. That just means that I want to see how the next one reacts. The next one, I want to see it aggressively reverse. All right, let's. Okay, yeah. So this is again. This is seek and destroy. Now it needs to slice through these low resistance liquidity runs here. Beautiful. The reason why I didn't trade this one was because again it's seek and destroy, and I've never been too comfortable doing it. Now that doesn't mean I'm not gonna in the future, because when what I'm seeing right now is refreshing my memory, and if I'm correct, then I'll be less hesitant to take a short during the next trade. I probably should have taken one down here already. Let's go ahead and take it off. Buy limit. I'm going to bring my stop down to here now. A lot of people are getting long here because they expect this right here to hold. Yeah, I probably should have taken it off already. Darn.
Wider stops and then go with micros. And I do think sometimes my stops are like 30 points, and it used to really be like 20 points or less, or 25 max. Sometimes they're 30 points now, which I don't love at all. But if you have to do it, then you have to do it. You just have to lower your sizing, people. Don't be one of those people that are always like, yeah, I always take too many contracts, like, and then not accounting for stops. La da dee da dee.
I'm not sure if we draw lower, but now I'm going to put my stop now right above here. Cancel one of the orders. Okay, so
ES ranging first 15 minutes of the day. Let's see what the candle looks like now. Wick and then down close back in the range. And Q with the upper 4-hour fair value gap now.
All right, so we have 15 minutes until NQ closes.
It's not back in the great.
I like listening to the other people stream. I don't know if they have the same idea as I do. Yeah, next time I see a Seek and Destroy, I'll definitely be prepared for it because those are pretty simple from what I can see. Fairly simple here. Mm, 13 more minutes until the close. From the pre-market, I don't expect price to come down here, honestly, because we've already displaced pretty high above. Now, if this is the high, then we might come back into. Actually, that's not even the new week opening gap. It's all the way down here. Actually, let's move this back up here because, yeah, I want to keep it up here. 2 point stop. Okay, that's fine. Let's leave it at that because I forgot to add it here on NQ. It already did. It's all the way down here in the opening gap. So yeah, I don't expect for price to come down here again. Perfect. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, this is where I'm looking at right now. I need to move the. There it is. New day opening gap right there. So I think I might get stopped. I think I might on ES. But if it's still seeking destroy, then I'm completely comfortable on the trade. And then I'll take a look and see where I got stopped. Lock. Oh, duh. Where the hell is the new day opening gap? I thought I added one. Alright, whatever. The reason why I put it at that high is because if we're in seek and destroy, then I should not expect to see any more sweeps. And instead, even if we get consolidation or weird, yeah, this is high right here. Right there. Yep. everybody's looking to get short SMT at the lows, I mean at the highs. So we are going to these lows up here. I probably should have actually jumped into an actual one, but I was too busy fiddling with the new day opening gap. Yeah, I don't expect for price to come down here. I'd be surprised if we did. And if we did, then we should only touch extreme discount, and that's it. All right, so now that we swept this high, we should expect to see a sweep of this low down here. All right, let's go ahead and take one off now and leave the last one with a stop right here, 2.50 stop. $10.51. Oh man, I would like to get in here. Okay, so I might look to take a micro here, but it looks like I'm not going to get the chance to. And Q, right here. Hmm. Okay, so I'm going to get in if we get a sweep into here, but on NQ, I don't want to see price sweep this low just yet. If it does, then trade idea is out. ES already swept the low, so not looking to take that. That's a good setup. I like it. And we're about to sweep. Uh, okay, so I like this setup. Beautiful. Okay, come on. I want to short it here. I don't want to short it here. And looks like we're going to let it go. Looks like it's going to go on without me. Damn. It sucks that I wasn't. Oh, man. I was too busy setting up the new day opening gap. So that blows. Come on. Just a little higher. Let's set the limit order now, 84. And my stop would be there it is. All right, come on, just a little more. All right, so I have my sell limit order. It looks like I'm not going to get that. We have an inverse gap as well. We'll see. ES already did that. And Q didn't. I want to see how the next one opens, and then I'll jump into it. All right, I'm in. I said I wanted it to pierce here. It did, so now I'm looking for a draw lower. My stop is if price closes above constant encroachment of this gap here. And my target would be first this low, second target would be these lows down here. Come on. All depends on how this close goes. I want to see down close candles. Wow. All right, that was quick. All right. Got stopped out real quick. Well, too bad. Wait, what happened here? I have no idea what happened, but I just took it out. All right. So I got stopped out real quick there. Again, my stop was right here, and I got taken out real quick. Yep, seek and destroy. Yep, seek and destroy. So not trying it out. All right, so I'm staying away from the market for now. I'm just glad that this one was what do you call that? This one was micros. Always micros with NQ. My entry was 90, which is right here, right below constant encroachment, which is where I thought price would actually draw into an active resistance. I did like this 50% of this range here, and my stop again was, even though this whole up move is the order block, I wanted to use the last one because this one was also right at a new week opening gap. So that gave me about a 15 point stop, and unfortunately that one didn't work. 15 points on micros, nothing to be worried about. I still have plenty of liquidity left for my stop loss limit on the day. So pretty happy about that. I don't expect for this price to draw lower or higher. Um, I just expect it to once again trade in a broad range. So staying away from the market. Oh, right. The I can take this out. Now I want to see how the 1 hour closes and opens. So let's go into the 4 hour. Yeah, this is definitely displacement. If price closes above here, then this right here could be the inverse that I was looking for. Same thing here, inverse, second one here. So whichever one gets filled, that's fine, as long as I can see where price is going to close. 30 more seconds. Looks like we might reach this area now, unless we stay within what's that thing called? Within geez, within the seek and destroy. So it looks like we're going to close very bullish here. All right, that's beautiful. Okay, so for the rest of the day, I'll be looking for longs, regardless of whether it sweeps here or not. It could even just head straight through here as well. So that's what I'm looking for now, just longs. But I do have to see more structure. It literally violated all of these areas here. Um, So there's really no choice to even, no point to even add this right here. So I'll go ahead and take this out. I'll take this out as well to make the chart cleaner. What's IM doing? I mean YM. Ooh, YM is the only one that has some sort of structure. Um, it swept Asia low into a breaker. Yeah, I like YM. But I'm not going to take it. I'm just watching YM. Into consequent encroachment. Wow, that is a beautiful trade. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. Institutional overflow entry drill on YM. I'm so tempted to take it. Um, breaker, entry. No, no, no. Breaker, entry, consequent encroachment of the breaker. Sweep, draw higher, institutional overflow entry drill, entry. Um, how many points would that be? That'd be 47 points. Uh, I wanted to touch here. Darn. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get it though. Yep, it's gone. It's gone. Yep, it's gone. I wanna get in here. That'll give me at least 32 point stop. Yep, it's gone. Well, that blows. All right. I'm just not. I'm not too in love with these, with any of these. Uh, Still seeking destroy, but at least we got the close here. Um, so that confirms bullish order flow. So now I want to see a reversal. I want to see not a reversal. I want to see a retracement. Uh, Sweeping this low is still not out of the realm of possibility. Yep, still not out of the realm. Because this low right here, anybody that was long here, it would get stopped out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait to see what it does here if it comes back down. Here's where I would like to look for the reversal because, like I said, the inversion lands right here as well. Same thing here. This one not so much, but the breaker is what is telling me as well. So that's a little more confluence. And the other idea is that if price continues to draw higher, we might get structure in the afternoon session. And once we get that type of structure, what we'll see is we'll see a run of a low, whatever that low ends up being, and then the new high of day gets drawn in the towards the last hour of the close, towards the last hour before the close. All right, so this person is long. Let me see what she's doing. Why is she long? She's long on a mitigation block, but I don't see that working. This right here is a mitigation block, but the only reason why I don't see that working is because there was no run. Yeah, she's gonna get stopped, I think. What I mean is, uh, let's see what she's saying.
Those 3-minute closes, it should close like below this 50% mark. It looks okay. Alright, looks fine. I'm in, it's drawn down for literally 2 minutes, quite uncomfortable, honestly, because I'm just a very impulsive person. Okay. Looks decent. Ish. Whatever. Taking literally 4 micros. Yeah, it's a huge stop, honestly. Yeah. Huge stop, which is why I have to take 4 micros. Yeah, we're back in sync with ES and YM. YM. Yeah, if we fail, then whatever. But do you think that's a draw? Those equal highs, left Tuesday high. If we don't get there, like, with a clean way, low resistance, then whatever. It's okay.
All right, I don't know why she got long, but I wouldn't take that one because again, the mitigation block to me is um, it's supposed to go like this. It needs to have a stop run, and it would be like this. Uh, like this, high. This swing low gets ran into this mitigation block where the low is higher. We get the run here. We test this order block, and then we get a run like that. So this low is this low right here. This low would be down here somewhere where it would be a swing low. A sweep of that swing low, that's a stop run. Mitigation block, draw higher. But I don't know, maybe she sees something I don't. Yeah, I don't see it.
I might take that loss. We'll see. Wants to treat me today. Close like get out.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get stopped. Her stop is like a few ticks below that as well. I think her stop is down here. Yeah, it's not something I would take. Because again, I think if anything, I would take this one right here. Uh, Macro's over already, so I'm not really going to do that. But a sweep of this high, sweep of this low, or this low here, and then the run resumes higher. But right now, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. So I'm gonna call it there on the stream. Nothing so far. I did take this short here, expecting seek and destroy, but I think this might still be the seek and destroy.
It closes below it. I don't like how videos drop in here. I get up prematurely here. It doesn't stop me on beforehand.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off. I mean, not take it off. I'm gonna call it there. But anyways, that was it for the day. So I'll see you tomorrow. I want to see what she's saying, but I